In this video, we're going to understand the intermediate value theorem. It says, which of the following polynomials is guaranteed by the intermediate value theorem to have a 0 on the interval -1 to 1? So we're talking about a polynomial which is a continuous function. And the intermediate value theorem basically states that if you take one x value, I'm going to draw just a portion of maybe a polynomial here. If you take an x value, which has a positive y value, and another x value, so we got this x value here and this one here, that has a negative y value. So I've got x value, positive y value, x value, negative y value. If that is the case, then I have to cross 0 somewhere in between these two x values. So there exists some x value between these two x values that would be 0. So basically, when we go and we try and use the intermediate value theorem, we're going to plug in the two x values, and we're going to look for which one of these functions has both a positive and a negative y value, and that would then guarantee that that function has a 0 between these two x values of -1 and 1. So we'll start by saying f of -1 and f of 1, which would give you -4, -1 squared, plus -1 minus 3. And then you'd have -4, 1 squared, plus 1 minus 3. Plug those in the calculator. You get -4 minus 1, -5, that's -8. This is 1 times -4, so -4 plus 1, that's a -3. Subtract 3, you get -6. So notice that the sign does not change for the y values. So this one, I'm just going to put a dash. This one does not work. And then we start with g of -1, which would be 2, -1 cubed, plus 3 times -1, squared minus 4 times -1, plus 4. Do the same thing with 1. And then plug those in the calculator. So -1 cubed will be -1. So you end up with -2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. So that's going to be 1, 9. Do the same thing over here. You get 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 4. That's going to be 5. Notice the signs do not switch. So this function does not have a 0 necessarily between those two values. So then h of -1, 4 times -1 squared minus 3 times -1 plus 2. 4 times h of 1, 1 squared, minus 3 times 1, plus 2. Four plus 3 plus 2, 9. 4 minus 3 plus 2, that's 3. They don't change signs. So we'll go to the last one, which is j of -1, 2 times -1 squared, plus 3 times -1, minus 2. And then we'll do j of 1. So that's 2 times 1 squared, plus 3 times 1, minus 2. I get 2 minus 3 minus 2 there, which gives you -3. This is 2 plus 3 minus 2, which is 3. Notice the sign change. For that continuous function, that means that there is a 0 that exists between the values, the x values of -1 and 1 for this function. So this would be the polynomial that guarantees a 0 between that interval.